I was wrongfully treated today at work. I was literally physically tapped on a lot of times. My name kept getting called. I was doing a great job. I kept getting sabotaged, tempted, so my button can get pressed and I can go out of character. Because I know that I'm a great person, and I know I won't be tolerating that.
But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
Welcome back to another episode of Dreading, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing the recently released interrogation footage of Afeni Muhammad, the woman who killed her McDonald's manager Jennifer Harris over having her hours cut. In Afeni's own words, the action was deeply disrespectful, and she felt that the best path forward was to stab the 39-year-old to death. This case gained a significant amount of attention online due to Afeni's own actions on social media, which has sparked a large-scale amount of debate. In our research, we have found some accounts supporting the 25-year-old, stating that she was pushed to the brink by her manager, and that her actions are more or less understandable, but we'll let you decide for yourself after we present all the relevant case information. Before we begin, we want to say thank you to the channel True Crime with Tina for uploading the interrogation footage. Not only were they able to find the footage, but they also captioned it, which we greatly appreciate. Without channels like Tina's publishing this footage, our channel probably would not exist, and we highly encourage all of you to send them some support. Similarly, we'll leave a link to the original upload sans our commentary, should you prefer watching the interrogation footage separately. As always, if there's a case you would like to see us cover or a story you want to bring more attention to, you can let us know by leaving it in the comments down below or emailing me at dreading.official@gmail.com. I'm still consistently going through the email and adding your suggestions to our list to begin our research process. But be aware, we are just two people, so it may take us some time to get to your suggestion, but we promise we are trying. So, with all of that said, let us begin. Unfortunately, at the time of recording, there's not much that is publicly known about the victim in this case, Jennifer Harris. Usually, we try to talk about the lives of the people we discuss, because we feel it's unfair to water them down to their deaths. But not much is known about Harris, besides the fact that she was a single mother of 6 children, who worked hard to provide for her family. Her friends and other family members would state in an interview with CBS that she was a source of stability in their lives, and was constantly putting others before herself. She took care of the people around her and wanted the best for them, and she undoubtedly deserved better than what happened to her. Prior to the creation of this video, a GoFundMe had been made for her family. However, it has since reached its goal and has been taken down. As the case progresses, we hope we're able to learn more about Jennifer and the life she led. Afeni, in stark contrast, was not described as favorably. From what we've been able to find via her social media accounts, Muhammad went by the name Risen Phoenix, and wanted to pursue a career in rap.
Yeah, tell him what's in your head right now. Hey, yo. Hey, this song is pretty sure it's dedicated to all of you. If anyone's trying to stop you from being who you want to be, I'm letting you know, straight up, be yourself, and don't give a fuck what nobody think. We all are unique in our own way, so be yourself, and don't care about what anyone else think. Period. Sing along. Accept me for who I am. Accept me for who I am. Accept me for who I am. I don't even gotta pretend. Accept me for who I am. Accept me for who I am. Accept me for who I am. I don't even gotta pretend. I'm done playing these damn games. I'm done playing these damn games. I'm done playing these damn games. You ought to be ashamed.
That was a clip from her song, aptly titled Accept Me For, like the number 4, Who I Am. Lyrically, the song is kinda subpar, but Afeni spends nearly 4 minutes rhyming about how other people hate her because she's just so real, and how anyone who doesn't accept her is, in effect, trying to kill her. She repeats that people hate her for being authentic, and in essence, she is the only real person in the whole wide world. Normally, we would write this off as simply hyperbole that is commonplace for the genre she's in, but given her crimes, we feel it's important to point out. Based on her public social media profiles, Afeni was by no means a stable individual. She believed that to some degree she could move objects with her mind.
So, watch this. So look, let me tell you this so you can do it yourself too. What you gotta do is, okay, we have a water bottle right now. So let's focus on the water bottle. I see little tiny water drops. Okay? I see tiny little water drops of the bottle. What you're gonna do is look at that one tiny water drop on that bottle. And you're gonna imagine yourself jumping in a pool. Jump in that tiny pool. So you have to imagine you're shrinking yourself to jump in that tiny little pool. Because atoms, you can't see the atoms with the naked eye and the electrons and all of that. But they're here around us, surrounding us. They're in the air. So you have to imagine a bunch of tiny little dots just flying around everywhere. And now I see them making a big shape. They're making two big hands. And they're just pushing the bottle. They're pushing the bottle out of my hand. Because I can't move my hand. My hand got to be still. Because the idea is to move the bottle with my mind. So these atoms are forming a shape of two giant hands, like two giant Zeus hands or something, right? And now I see the kamikaze jet. It just ran right into the top of it, like off of the song he made called when he was like, everybody been taking it. He said how he said it. He was like, everybody been telling me what they think about me, lady. Maybe it's time I tell them what I think about them. All right, and now I'm imagining the rope is pulling the bottle out of my hand. And at the same time, these two giant hands are still pushing the bottle. So the rope and the hands work together. And then the Incredible Hulk is under the bottle. The Incredible Hulk is under the bottle and he's lifting it up heavy as he can. And Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four, he's ramming into it like a bull or something. Everybody's working together. You know, the giant hands is pushing it. The kamikaze jet put a hole in the top. The rope is pulling it. The Hulk is under it, lifting it up. Ben Grimm is still ramming into it. He ain't going to have a headache because he's made of rock. So he ain't going to have a headache. And the bottle is slowly falling out of my hand because it has to. Because all of that force, all of that power, we're all working together, knocking this damn bottle out of my fucking hand. Of course that's going to happen. Go. Okay. Keep going. Pull it, push it, push it, push it, push it. Just fall already, damn bottle. The bottle is a giant now. Okay, there it fell.
And in some posts, indicated that she was in love with both Chucky the Killer Doll and Eminem the rapper. According to what's been made available of the police records, on January 11th, 2022, Muhammad stabbed her boyfriend after an argument. She was honest about what had occurred, and while she felt her boyfriend deserved to be stabbed, she was uncommonly forthcoming about what had happened. Following this incident, Afeni would be placed on a year probation, but this seemingly wasn't her only previous stabbing. On January 26th, 2025, Afeni would post the following to Instagram.
I asked them, like, they're gonna get me to talk to like a social worker because I told them that I'm interested in like getting a house and like, you know, I told them that the guy I live with, he stresses me out and stuff, and like, and then after what he did like yesterday, it kind of like, it just like kind of like went over the line at this point. Like he handed me the knife and told me he told me to kill him. And then I said, you could kill yourself, like you're crazy. Like I don't know if I should have said it like that, but that's just like what I said at the moment, because it's like, I'm like, you know, I was like, you're crazy, you need help, fuck you. That's what I told him. And then I had walked away. But it's like, everything is fine now and stuff, but I think that kind of triggered my anxiety attack, because when I woke up this morning, I started having an anxiety attack. I started having like butterflies in my stomach and my heart was racing fast, and I'm like, damn, am I dying or something? And then the first thing I kept thinking about was,
about what happened with the knife, and then I started thinking about when I lived, in I lived in Virginia, Alexandria, when I had that incident that had took place, that I mentioned in one of my songs. So it was like, when that happened, I was like, I think that like triggered my anxiety. I'm like, damn, if like I don't think I would leave to live with this guy. Like, he stressed me out, and I'm tired of catering to him when he's picking at himself or whatever. It's just, they're gonna help me like get housing. I don't want to keep dealing with this bullshit.
Based on her testimony, she was in an unstable living environment with a person whose mental health was actively degrading alongside hers. On June 19th, 2025, Afeni would post the following on Instagram, although we cannot confirm that this was about the same man. Quote, March 12th, 2024. It took a long time for me to process this awful experience that I have faced while trusting to rent a room with a rent partner, someone I didn't know but needed somewhere to live. I've been wanting to share this story, but I took a long time too because by the time I shared the story, I wanted to be able to look at these videos and see myself as evolved, and not the same girl in that video now when I look at those videos. I don't even feel like that girl in those videos. I feel more stronger and powerful than ever before. Everything I've gone throughout those years, those 2 years of staying with that person, it all came down to it that my dad was right. I was better off being homeless living in a car, living out of a car, than to be under a roof with that creep. And I want to thank everyone who helped me get through the struggle of the mental abuse I was facing, all the harassment I was facing. I want to thank everyone for helping me get through it, and I definitely want to thank Marshall B. Mathers for helping me get through it too. When I say I felt so embarrassed and vulnerable, I waited because I knew one day, when I had the perfect moment, I would know. And today on Juneteenth is the perfect moment. So thank you everyone for supporting me and helping me get through this. It wasn't easy, but now I never felt more alive. And whoever that girl was who he harassed at his job, I want to know her. She don't have to feel ashamed. She did the right thing by speaking up, and she shouldn't feel guilty at all that Wayne Fisher won't be working there anymore. Broken chains emoji, hashtag Juneteenth, unquote.
I'm just sitting at this park right now. I wanted to I had to talk to my neighbor Wayne again and like clear up everything with him, because how I said how like he's always like he always like look at me a certain way or something, and I told him that like I don't want to have sex. I told him that. So it's like, sometimes he would give me something to eat or something if I didn't make anyone on Instacart. I get that. But I told him like I don't want him thinking that that I owe him that just because he do that for me sometimes. I want him to think that I owe him sex. So now like after I told him that, it's like he's been crying and crying and telling me he think I use him. Dismissing everything that I do for him and did for him. Dismissing the fact that he had this condition that he'd been going through for a long time and nobody can help him but me. I helped him get through it. And I cook, and I don't have a lot of money, but I still make money at work, but I don't have a car right now. I'm still working to get in a car. And he feels like I owe him sex. And now he's mad and crying and trying to make me feel guilty. I need to just calm down. I'm gonna be okay. But I should have known. I'm playing my peaceful music so I don't have to listen to you doing this, and you're interrupting my music call on my phone. Please leave me alone.
You told me you never ignore me.
Stop fucking with me! Leave me alone! Please! Please leave me alone! I don't want to have sex with you! I don't want to have sex! So stop! I really talked to myself! I don't want to have sex with you! Okay? Okay?
Around this time, Afeni would share a video showing where she was staying. Whether this was a small apartment she was renting, a hotel room, or a room at a shelter, Afeni had been writing little messages to herself on the wall. The wall was riddled with different affirmations like, I am wealthy, I am safe, I am loved, and 333, which is known as an angel number. Angel numbers are usually discussed in soft, uplifting terms as signs that the universe is aligning in your favor. In our research, we've seen multiple spiritual gurus discuss how seeing multiple of these numbers daily is a sign of good fortune, or a positive change in one's life. And for people who are unhappy with their circumstances, a little positive assurance can be greatly beneficial. But unfortunately, those ideas can be easily warped, especially when we talk about how the human brain processes patterns, expectations, and meaning. In some cases, these numbers can be more than a sign from the universe that you are on the right path. They can turn into mental loops that feed anxiety, reinforce unhealthy beliefs, and intersect with symptoms seen in certain mental health conditions, like OCD or schizophrenia. The first thing to understand is that human beings are natural pattern hunters. Our brains were built to notice repetition. It's how early humans identified edible plants, or predicted seasons, or avoided predators. But the same wiring that once kept us alive under stress can veer into overdrive. When someone is already dealing with uncertainty, loneliness, or heightened emotions, repeating digits like 333 can start to feel less like a random occurrence and more like a secret message. Where things become especially tricky is when the numbers begin to take on absolute meaning. For many people, this day is harmless, the same way most superstitions do. But for others, especially those already prone to anxiety or certain cognitive distortions, angel numbers can merge with spiraling thoughts. And in more severe cases, this pattern seeking can resemble symptoms that clinicians see in specific mental health conditions, where ordinary events are interpreted as personal messages or signs. To be extremely clear, believing in angel numbers doesn't mean someone has a mental illness. Millions of people enjoy them casually with zero negative effects. The concern arises only when someone who is obviously struggling with their mental health starts to believe that those numbers mean more than they do. It's clear that what Afeni wrote on her walls was meant to provide her with comfort. She was not wealthy or successful, but writing the statement out and reading it day after day likely made her feel better about the circumstances she found herself in. But despite her dissatisfaction with her life and wanting to become more wealthy, she would struggle holding down any sort of job. At one point, Muhammad was working as a cleaner, but after 2 cleaning jobs, she would post the following rants on her Instagram page.
So I cleaned the house. It was only a 3-hour job. I really needed like 6 hours to clean that fucking house. It was like cobwebs and shit everywhere. I did the best I could with it. But it was just when I got upstairs to that fucking bathroom, man, that shit was traumatizing me. I was like, you know what? I ain't stressing myself out. I'm gonna do what I can. And whatever I can't scrub up, it's gonna stay there. And I let the lady know I scrubbed what I could, but you know, some stuff ain't come up, you know. But you know, other than that, it was pretty smooth. I got there a little late, but you know, I left on time though, because I'm like, I'm not staying extra. She's like, you sure you don't want to stay extra, clean the other bathroom? I gotta drive 30 minutes to the other client, so I don't have time for it. You can rebook me though. You know, so okay, I'll rebook you. I'm like, thank you.
Afeni had been hired to work as a cleaner, and yet she is actively taking issue with how dirty the home was that she was paid to clean. Based solely on her description thus far, it sounds like the person who hired her was an older woman who may not have been able to keep up with the cleaning over the years. She describes the home as being filled with cobwebs, indicating that the person was unable to dust or clean their walls, which points to them being disabled to some degree. Moreover, her profession relies on the people who hired her feeling the need to get some help with their cleaning. While it's true that some extremely wealthy individuals will hire someone to clean their already nice home, it's just as common for people to hire cleaners when they can no longer clean up after themselves, or they just generally struggle keeping their homes clean in the first place. Similarly, Afeni is posting this on her public account, meaning that this video could get back to her employers or worse, the woman who hired her, which could result in her losing her job. She has every right to not enjoy her work, and to be privately disgusted with having to clean those homes. But to go online and discuss that publicly is incredibly unprofessional and callous towards the people she works for. If she's going to be in public besmirching her clients, that's only going to result in her not getting rehired or actively being dropped by the company she's working for. But continuing on.
She has so many Barbies. She had like 1 million Barbies. It was amazing. I'm like, damn, I should have took some pictures. There was a lot of Barbies. But now I ain't taking no pictures because I wasn't there to take pictures. I was there to clean. But I did take before and after pictures of the bathroom because And that bathroom was hideous. But, I told her to book me again, but, I'm not going back there. No, I'm not going back there. Hell no. Hell no. You would never see me again. I'll never go back to that fucking house. Ever. It was hideous. Ugh. It was hideous. She had like a million Barbies. Like, I was like a kid in the toy store. Like, I'm like, wow, you have so many Barbies. You would think she would have offered me a Barbie before I left. Damn. You know what I mean? Like, damn, you didn't even offer me no Barbie. You see, I like these damn Barbies. I mean, she tipped me $15, but I would have rather her gave me one of those Barbies. She has so many damn Barbies.
No, I don't think you would think that, because it sounds like that person is a collector and not someone who's keeping Barbies just to play with them or give them out as party favors. There are plenty of collectors who spend thousands of dollars buying old dolls and they keep them in their boxes just because they enjoy them. Afeni mentions that they gave her a $15 tip, but is annoyed that they didn't just give her a piece of their collection that probably cost more than what she was paying for the cleaning. This unfortunately shows a fair amount of self-centeredness on Afeni's behalf, because she can't conceptualize why the woman she cleaned for would not just give her something that she wants. Imagine if you are in a similar position. You go into someone's house, where they have their prized collection of model trains. You express interest in the trains, and they talk to you briefly about them. Would you then expect them to give you a piece of their collection when you leave, simply because you told them you like them? Obviously not. But she doesn't see it that way, likely because she doesn't know that much about dolls or how much they cost, or because she doesn't understand what this collection means to the other person. Because these items are just playthings to her, she expects to be given one on her way out, even though, by her own estimation, she didn't finish cleaning.
You ain't offer me one. It's like, no, I don't care. I can easily get one if I can easily get a Barbie from off this website I go on if I really was desperate. But, I'm not going back there. Some places, some houses, they really wanted me to come back. I'll go back, but that one, no. No, ma'am. You will never see me again. It was disgusting. And, she was like, I feel so guilty sitting over here. Yeah, you should feel guilty, because what the fuck you got me in doing? What the fuck, man? Like, you got me doing some heavy-duty work and shit. Normally, when I go to houses, they be clean. I just gotta, like, do little touch-ups. But that shit was horrible, man. That shit... Like, yeah, you could have booked me again. You would never see me again. I ain't never come back to that fucking house. Nope. You can book me if you want to. I would not press accept, because I ain't doing it. Get somebody else to clean your fucking house. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because your house looks fucking filthy. And I know you're telling me you gotta have surgery soon or whatever, but it still ain't no fucking excuse why you can't piss off the fucking toilet.
So the person whose home she was cleaning needed help because they were waiting to undergo surgery, meaning that they weren't physically able to clean due to their own medical issues. They couldn't clean, so they hired her when things got out of hand. And she vocalizes her disgust at that. While it could be true that they chose not to clean before their medical issues, she doesn't know that, and she gives them no sort of wiggle room. In her eyes, they are simply disgusting, and she doesn't want to work for them in the future.
Like that shit pissed me off. It's a disappointment to know that these fucking adults don't know how to clean their fucking houses. But these be the main people that be trying to think they running something and thinking they bossing people around, acting like they boss everybody. Well, what's going on with y'all houses, though? Why y'all houses look filthy like this? What's up with that? Because I'm mad now. I'm heated. What, just because I get paid and stuff to clean houses, that means that, like, I'm a fan of you people? No, you people are a fucking disgrace. You people are a fucking disgrace. Your houses look a fucking mess. How do you live with yourself? Why are you even selling Barbies? Barbies are magical and beautiful and clean. What you selling Barbies for? Have a bunch of Barbies and shit, but your house don't look like a Barbie house. What's up with that?
So this is a pretty obvious escalation here. She is now displaying obvious contempt, even though based on everything she has said, the woman who hired her did nothing wrong. She appreciated the help that Afeni gave her, but because she was medically disabled and not able to properly clean up after herself, she is a disgrace in her eyes. Moreover, what Afeni said here is odd, given that she says, these people, meaning the clients she works for, think that they can talk down to her and order her around. but she hasn't given us any examples of them specifically talking down to her. But as for giving her orders, that's just part of the job technically. She is entering other people's homes. They have to tell her what they hired her to do and where things go and what they want cleaned. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to do the job that they hired her to do. Like, what are we talking about? Muhammad has already told us that this person is physically unable to clean up after themselves. And while we don't know exactly what is wrong, we do know that they need surgery. And yet she talks about them as if they were enjoying living that way. But again, they hired her to help them, to get themselves out of that situation, and she shows them no empathy or compassion. It's as if that didn't even occur to her.
It's disgusting. Especially when I go to fucking houses and people be sitting on their fucking sofa just chilling and shit, watching TV and talking about a bunch of nothing. Why the fuck you don't got time to clean your fucking house? Ain't no excuse, you just being lazy. Yeah, some people really can't, but some people can. Because there's been houses I've been to that people can fucking clean their own house. They're just being lazy. No, I ain't your fucking maid, and you'll never see me again.
Getting a house cleaner of any kind is a luxury. It's something that some people get because they want to improve their circumstances. But a lot of the time, people just don't want to have to clean if they don't have to. And that's the reason why Afeni has a job. As long as people view cleaning as something they don't want to do for themselves, she can continue to make a living as a cleaner. If everyone she's actively complaining about stopped being lazy and just followed her advice, she would technically be out of a job. It's very normal to complain about your job, because they're high stress and often not something people want to spend their time doing. But it appears that she's wound herself up in a way that goes beyond just complaining. In a similar rant, she would talk about another space she was assigned to clean, and she decided that it was also too dirty for her to work on because there were roaches. But that is her job technically. She is a professional cleaner. She was hired to come into homes and offices to clean them, and reasonably should have expected that some of the homes that she'd be assigned to would require a decent chunk of time considering she was hired for multiple hours. Afeni would stop posting about cleaning homes after those rants, making it appear that she had been fired. Shortly thereafter, she would begin posting videos of herself working at McDonald's. It seemed that she was partial to going into the play place and eating there. While we wanted to assume that she was doing this on her break, some reporting states that she would actively hide while on shift. Regardless, any adult worker hanging out in the play structure in their free time is obviously off-putting. Kind of funny, but still off-putting.
She wanna stop it. Thought to myself, damn, I'm white chocolate. Bitch suffocating me. Time to move. She just some thought shit. I turn the heat on, she want it off. She get under her covers and snore and snot. I'm laying in my bed looking at the ceiling all night. Eventually I finally doze off, and I only counted 1 Z, 2 sheep, and a kite. I'm tossing and turning, cause she woke me up before the roosters could say cock-a-doodle high. Now I got this bitch burning, cause I was freezing and I turned the heat on 85. It's 4 in the fucking morning, bitch, put your headphones in. Don't ask me if it's too loud when you know it is. Then proceed to go on with your bullshit. So I blasted my hip-hop termination instrumental, cause I don't tolerate bullying. Call me Charlie, I'm the fire starter in this bullpit. She went for breakfast around 6-ish. Damn, you barely ate your dinner I brought us from Texas Roadhouse. The damn dishes just sitting in the fridge.
The only reason any non-parent over the age of 12 should be in there at all would be to clean it. The same day she posted these 2 videos of herself eating, she would make her first public complaint about Jennifer Harris.
I was wrongfully treated today at work. I was literally physically tapped on a lot of times. My name kept getting called. I was doing a great job. I kept getting sabotaged, tempted, so my button can get pressed and I can go out of character. So although I went out of character, all I could say was stop talking to me. That's all I could say. Stop talking to me. And to walk into my space, still bothering me, and I said, get away from me. Please get out of my space if you don't mind. I can't talk right now, and you still continue to touch me. That made me very unhappy. It was ridiculous. Because I know that I'm a great person, and I know I won't be tolerating that. So since they decided to bully me, Let the universe show them what's next. Because it wasn't right. It was ridiculous. And there will be hell to pay for that. Without a doubt.
So let's go over her main complaints and see what it adds up to. She states that she was wrongfully treated at work, and cites that she was tapped on and her name was called repeatedly, as is the case with most fast food establishments. If you're going to be working behind the counter, unfortunately, you're going to come into contact with people physically. Anyways, the space is small and some people will end up bumping into each other. It should also be stated that the majority of people don't take a tap on the shoulder or a light touch as being a sign of aggression or disrespect, even though Afeni does. With that in mind, it would be her responsibility to tell Jennifer that she doesn't like being touched in that way, and that she feels that it is deeply disrespectful. You should also just generally expect for your name to be called by your coworkers and managers at your work. Neither of those examples are a sign of being treated poorly or wrongfully, as she said. She then states that even though she was doing a great job at work, she kept getting sabotaged by others. Afeni posits that she was being done wrong, specifically so she would, quote, go out of character. But that begs the question, why? Why would anyone who's working alongside her want her to lash out at them? They probably wouldn't, because no one who is working alongside her cares about her that much. That phrasing sounds harsh, but we're being as literal as we can possibly be. Every single person who's working at Mickey D's is just trying to get through their shift as quickly as possible. They work there in order to earn a living, and I guarantee that no one was trying to get under her skin and cause problems, because that would make their lives harder. While it can sometimes feel that people around you, especially those you don't like, are purposely trying to push your buttons and make your life worse, the vast majority of the time, none of them care enough about you to do that. They're still probably just trying to get through their day and are pissing you off entirely by accident. Sure, you can get the odd employee who's a bit of a dick. Again, I think that's anecdotal. But as we saw earlier, when Afeni made herself angry by talking about the disabled woman being unable to clean up after herself, she's unable to think about things from an outside perspective. Because that person pissed her off, they had to be intentionally messing with her. They were being malicious, even though they had no reason to be. Moreover, Afeni states that she repeatedly told the manager to get away and stop talking to her, which is not really a reasonable request. Jennifer was her manager. She had to ensure that she was doing her job correctly, and that involves, unfortunately, watching over the entire staff. She can't just walk away and not supervise Muhammad, simply because the young woman is upset and doesn't want to be corrected. Afeni ends the video by making a veiled threat, saying that the universe is going to handle the situation, and that there will be hell to pay. This video was posted about a month before the stabbing, but it wouldn't be the only time the rapper would post about her anger towards the mother of 6 on social media. She would continue to post videos and pictures of herself inside the play structure at McDonald's, and even on one occasion, posted a video of her playing the recorder while loudly listening to her own song at work. Her behavior was obviously inappropriate, and it would make sense that she was penalized for it. According to reports, Jennifer repeatedly told Afeni to stop, and to try and correct the behavior, which of course made Afeni upset. She would then escalate the situation, accusing the manager of talking down to her, and likely due to that escalation, she would then be sent home. On July 8th, 2025, Afeni would post the following to her Instagram.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That shit gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on, and then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right, but we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. Nobody's perfect. It's fucking McDonald's. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So fuck, it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and shit that she keep putting in the air and stuff, then trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative shit she's saying about, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all of that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That shit is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't. Then one day she coming in there talking about some, yeah, I broke my door in half and I had to pull my gun out on my kids since this and that. Well, telling us that, like, the fuck you telling us you pulled a gun out on your kids for? You sound like a fucking psychopath. That's what I wanted to tell her. She was talking about some she blacked out. I'm like, yeah, you must have had blacked out if you pulled the gun out on your kids. Like, I'm like, what the fuck you telling me this for? Like, she think she's like trying to make it seem like that she big dog or some shit. Give a fuck about you telling me about you pulling the gun out on a kid. I don't fucking, like, that shit doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't scare me. If she thought she was trying to intimidate me, that shit didn't intimidate me at all. I don't give a fuck about her telling me about what the fuck she did. Maybe that's why they always fighting her, to defend themselves. They probably felt like their life was threatened. The fuck out of here with that shit.
So there are a few things that are notable about this post. Firstly, no one else who worked with Jennifer had these complaints, or would state that she would bring the energy down. To the contrary, people felt pretty on edge working with Afeni, because she would behave inappropriately and get agitated whenever she was corrected. Secondly, Afeni once again frames everything as being done to her, and takes no real responsibility for any of her actions. Solely based on the photos and videos she posted on social media, she would routinely be taking videos of herself while on shift, causing a disruption in the general sitting area, or hiding in the play area. These are all things that most 25-year-olds would know not to do while on the clock. But she was consistently breaking the code of conduct. But as far as she was concerned, she did nothing wrong, and was only reacting to the energy being brought into the store by Harris. And so finally, she ends her statement by threatening Harris again. In her mind, being sent home from work is an action that should be met with physical violence or death. On July 10th, 2025, Jennifer Harris would send Afeni home early after another tense encounter. Afeni was deeply upset by this, as shown in her social media posts, and tried to confront her manager in front of the other workers. According to the testimony of one of the witnesses, before leaving, Muhammad told Harris, quote, "You reap what you sow. I'll be back. You better watch your back." Afeni then left the establishment and drove to a nearby skate park in order to cool off, but she was unable to calm down. After some time, she put on her favorite Chucky sweatshirt, one that had a mask portion that could be zipped over the face. She then hid a long knife up her sleeve and walked back into the McDonald's through the back employee entrance. She then viciously attacked the mother of 6, stabbing her upwards of 15 times in the head and neck. A customer in the drive-thru saw the attack occur and was lawfully carrying a weapon. In the frenzy, he was able to get his gun and fire a warning shot, which shocked Afeni. She then tried to leave the scene, running outside towards her car. That same customer followed her, not wanting her to get away, and was able to subdue her, holding her at gunpoint until the police arrested her. As we mentioned previously, we obtained this footage from the channel True Crime with Tina, who added captions. A link to their original upload and channel will be left in the description box down below, and I do advise supporting them any way that you can.
Where'd you go to high school at?
Rockland High School in Hamilton. Like Temple Valley, like.
So you had your high school diploma, right?
Yeah, it was actually in my folded inside my desk where it was this and I used it on my phone.
Okay. So you know how to read, write, spell, all that. Smart girl, aren't you? Smart. What'd you know? A's. What's your favorite class?
I like Italian because I like how I can learn different language. You know a little Italian?
Little. That's all you know. Okay. We're going to get down to business. How hard is it going to be? It's going to make you better. Okay. Where do you work?
I work in
Was it located in East Point? Have you tried anything today?
No.
Prescription medication anymore? Sleep last night?
Yeah.
How many hours?
I don't sleep at like 8 hours.
Okay, well, you got 8 hours of sleep. Okay. Where did you sleep?
I slept in the shop because I didn't have enough money for the hotel. You know, for
Pausing briefly to take note of the fact that Afeni was homeless, which would obviously add a certain degree of stress to her life. Most cities have laws against people sleeping in their vehicles, and having no place to safely rest would obviously add to her anxiety around her job and making money. She needed that job in order to get by, and every shift mattered to her. However, her actions while at work did not showcase that. In fact, according to her coworkers, she was often extremely lazy and disruptive, to the point to where people didn't even like working with her. Instead of making herself useful, working harder so she could potentially earn a raise or be asked to pick up more shifts, she was aggressive with everyone, taking videos of herself in the stockroom and bathroom, and was generally disruptive. While her living situation was difficult, it doesn't excuse her behavior or justify her actions at work.
What do you do at McDonald's? Are you a cook?
I prep food and then also I'm basically customer service. Perform excellent customer service.
Okay. Where are you working today?
I work
What time do you start?
at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.?
I clock in at 4:02 a.m.
Who is your manager there, or who is in charge of you?
Today was Jennifer.
Jennifer Harris?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any sort of issues with Jennifer Harris?
I had an issue with how I had to clock out 3 times in a row just because she was bullying me with no reason and be out and she clocked me out without me knowing. So I was working for 3.
Was this today, or was this prior?
That was today.
Okay.
Afeni is extremely calm here when talking about Jennifer, and it's notable that her demeanor does match the prior police report from 2 years earlier regarding her prior stabbing charge. She is direct in a way that is almost unnatural, as if she doesn't recognize that what she has done is wrong. She presents her problems with Jennifer calmly, does not over-embellish what happened between them, and makes sure to refer to the woman she murdered in past tense. When someone speaks with unusual calmness and clarity about their own harmful actions, it can be unsettling. Most people, when confronted with the reality of having caused serious harm, show some mixture of fear, guilt, confusion, or panic. But not Afeni. She comes across as composed and extremely matter-of-fact, much like Jared Murray. When someone describes their actions with clinical clarity, it often points to a major disconnect between the act and the internal emotional response most people would have. This can stem from several possible factors. Sometimes it reflects an inability to process the emotional weight of what happened. Other times it's a coping mechanism, where the brain simplifies something overwhelming into a series of steps, like recounting a to-do list. And in some rare situations, it reflects a type of detachment that professionals view as a red flag, a sign that the person either doesn't fully grasp the gravity of what they've done or is operating under a thought process fundamentally unlike the usual moral framework. Perhaps the most important point, though, is that extreme bluntness after committing a major crime is rarely a sign of stability. In healthy psychological functioning, people experience conflict between harmful impulses and internal moral restraints. They feel the weight of consequences, and they struggle with remorse or shock. When those responses are absent, it suggests a mind that is either profoundly detached, profoundly impaired, or profoundly overwhelmed by a distorted worldview. From what we were able to gather from Afeni's social media postings, she was a deeply troubled individual, but here it seems that something more is at play.
So, has any time prior to this day today, did she make you clock out or not?
Yes.
How many times? Once?
It happened. This makes the very time this week.
Third time this week?
Yeah.
And can you tell me why do you think she's doing that?
I think she was doing that because I had spoke up to her and I felt like, trying to figure out what, I think it was sometime last week, it was Friday, I'm not sure, but it was, I had told her, that racist shit gonna stop, that's why I had told her, because I got tired of how she kept on, like, acting like crazy for it, like, yeah, she was like, and they were there also, he was crazy, they were there.
So,
There is no evidence that Jennifer Harris was racist.
let me ask you this, can you tell me what kind of racist comments that she's making towards you or anybody? Give me an example.
Yeah, like, so sometimes when they look at their phones or something, and like, there was one time, the guy they find his shoulder on her phone was like a Caucasian girl, she had like a fight or something. And she's like, that's can you like me? And that's what she had said, you know, and then every time.
So skinny like me, so B meaning bitch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Has she ever used any derogatory remarks towards you that, give me an example of what she was
She
calling you?
said that she was blood one time to me, and she said she wanted her gun and her children, but it just like made me feel like I got like scared of her, and because she's a fully kind person.
Did she say anything racist to you today?
No, she didn't say anything to me. That the only thing she said to me was, "You can fuck out now." And then I was like, "I'm working my shit today. Like, you know, I didn't do anything wrong."
Did you leave after she told you that?
No, I stayed. I started working my shift, so I stayed and I just kept working. Nobody came over there to relieve me, so I just continued to catch everybody else. You know, and then I just happened to look at the app and see that I actually was clocked out. I didn't know she clocked out at 6, and I didn't even know I was still working. And that's when I had said, I didn't know you clocked out. You didn't even tell me that I'm done talking to you. I didn't tell you to leave.
So what did you do after that? Did you leave?
Yeah, I left. I said, this is wrong. I said, you keep bullying me. This is wrong.
Where did you go?
I went to the truck and then I had drove and went to the skate park and skated a little bit.
Okay, so
It was after I left and like someone was
how long did you work for previous then?
I worked 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So she got you out at 6, you said, and
Yeah.
you know what's the job about?
Yeah,
All right.
almost 2 o'clock.
Okay. So you have to skate park. Okay.
Yes, and then after that, that's when I just started listening to my music and I had just started prayer. And I started thinking about like how she, everything that she was doing that was like wrong.
The time between when Afeni left McDonald's to when the attack occurred is important because she cannot claim that this attack was a spur-of-the-moment action. Her repeated posts about how Jennifer would regret being on her bad side and how the universe would correct her actions demonstrates premeditation, and the fact that she physically left the restaurant only to come back after retrieving a weapon and putting on a mask shows she deliberately set out to end Jennifer's life.
Did that piss you off? Okay, so at some point you returned to the McDonald's, all right? Okay. What did you have? How did you injure?
I had a knife and I walked with her and I kept her.
How many times? Do you remember? Where'd you stab her at?
Her neck area.
Did you want to kill her?
I did. It's not her to say that.
I can't hear the
That's how you
response.
felt.
Can you play that back, please?
How many knives did you have?
Period.
Did you want to kill her?
I, yeah, it's not good to say that, that's my problem.
Afeni says that she did want to kill Jennifer, and that it, quote, does not hurt to say that, unquote. Again, she is entirely unaffected by the fact that she took another person's life. This is a highly unnatural response to murder, and probably one that her legal counsel could use to bolster an insanity defense.
That's how you felt. How many knives did you have on you? Can you describe the knife that you stabbed her with?
French knife.
Well, explain what a French knife.
It's a chef knife, like
Is it long? Okay. Did you walk up behind her? Did you guys argue? And you just walked up to her? Show me how you did it. You walked up to her and you just started doing what? Show me how you did it. You can stand up. It's okay. So if I'm Jennifer, show me.
okay, so I had it up in my shirt.
What color?
I had it up in my shirt.
What's your shirt? Is that the one that you had on? And then so I'm Jennifer, and you have the knife in your hand, I need you to show me how you do that. Where did you do it like this? Show? It's okay.
Like this.
Did you start doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do it where on my body? It's okay, honey. Don't worry. It's okay.
And then she turned around and then she fell.
Did you stab her on the stomach? Or just that?
I don't know. I might have.
So, you mentioned somebody, you heard a gunshot.
Just when I started to say, hey, ow! And then I hit up, and I actually got that shot. And so I hit up, and I hit behind like the prayer rack. And then I hit out the side door. And the back end out and around the building. And she had that point, and I turn around. And then I was like, she's going, here. Turn around. And then it turned around.
So the blood on your hand, it was.
It came from the jacket, but it took it off.
The audio is hard to make out given the fact that it's being played in an open court, and it's not the raw file. It's unclear if she tried to tell the witness who was able to hold her at the scene that Jennifer was the one that was killing her, or if she said something different.
You think it's her blood?
Yeah, I believe it was because I didn't get shot.
Right. Where did you get the knife? Was it?
I had brought it from Walmart. I had brought a cake I was going to bring here, but I never brought it.
When did you buy it?
I brought it when I brought a cake yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you bought the knife at Walmart?
Walmart.
Has this lady, has she been bullying you for a while, or is this was just a 1 or 2 or 3 times?
She's been bullying me for a while.
Does she do that to other employees?
She has been bullying. It was one of the girls she recently stopped messing with. Because now I guess I turned out to be what she wanted to bully, but she has been bullying me for a very long time. She played her little gangster music, and she don't like how I play classical music. She does dance okay. Because I'm not like her, and she was always saying comments like, I know we all supposed to look out for each other, saying can't cover anything that she was taking for like other coworkers, and then the day before yesterday, she talked about me to one of the other coworkers. She was like, she's pissing me off because sometimes customers hold me up at the window, and it take a long time, and they hold the time up, and then they start yelling at me. But it's sometimes I can't rush the customer. I think they're looking for their money. So.
Well, just so that I could get an idea of where your headspace was when you were stabbing her. Well, how did that make you feel?
I can be honest.
Yes.
You can sound wrong.
Yes.
Okay, I felt that it spoke to him because I feel like she had people under oppression who wasn't her free, she was going to keep in there. So that's how I felt when I was seeing it.
Afeni felt like Jennifer was an oppressive force that needed to be taken out, as if the mother of 6 was a powerful person who got off on hurting others. But that is simply not true. She was her manager, someone who worked a hard job, who came to work to provide for her family. She was in charge of those on her shifts, and her only goal was to make sure everything in the restaurant ran smoothly. But because she told Afeni what to do, and used a tone that she didn't like, Afeni reframes the situation as Jennifer being a problem that she needed to get rid of for the good of everybody.
And I told him if that's what I'm supposed to get, and that's what I'm, and if somebody want to take me down, then I would do my best to fight in this situation.
What about now? Do you feel remorse or relief?
Like you said,
Do you feel bad about it, like remorseful that you did it, or you feel
I don't
relieved?
feel like
You feel relieved that you did it?
I feel better.
We don't have any commentary for the rest of the footage, but if you want to see it in full, it will be in the description box down below. Following the interview, Afeni's bond was set at $25 million, ensuring that she would stay in custody before the trial. She was made to undergo a competency hearing and was found fit to stand trial, as she understood the nature of her crimes. Afeni would go to court as part of her preliminary examination. There, 6 witnesses took the stand and testified as to what occurred the morning of the attack. Security camera footage of the attack was also shown, as well as the body cam footage of the arrest. Harris's family was deeply emotional throughout, and after a short recess, one of Harris's daughters tried to exact her revenge on her mother's killer. The girl ran outside to the car, where she procured a knife, then attempted to return to the courtroom. Her attempt was unsuccessful, and the judge ultimately made the decision to remove the family from the courthouse. We will be keeping an eye on this case as it progresses, but let us know what you think in the comments down below. In our opinion, Afeni is a deeply mentally unwell person who poses a danger to society at large. That said, an argument can easily be made that she's not in her right mind, but Jennifer still deserves some form of justice. So, if you've made it to this portion of the video, thank you for watching. As always, if there's a case you would like us to discuss or a story you want to bring more attention to, you can let me know by emailing me at dreading.official@gmail.com. I'm still consistently going through our email and adding your suggestions to our list to start our research process. So have a great day and remember, stay safe.